So there's no rules of like not having your phone on you on the course.
Yeah.
I could see that becoming a rule down the road of where, you have to leave your phones in the locker room or your car or whatever it is and not have it on the course. Cause I will say, and again, I'm probably one of the people on my phone probably the most because I actually keep UDisc on my phone. So I'm always popping it out after every hole. But it was I want to say it was hole 10, 10's tee. I texted Kelsey and I literally go, because I knew my front nine was terrible. I just knew I didn't I mean, obviously I threw the disc out of bounds so many times. So I literally texted Kelsey. I was like, what spot am I in? Like, how far have I dropped? Because I knew like I didn't play that well.
Yeah.
And she's like, it doesn't matter. Just keep grinding. And it was one of those things of where I think like what she was doing was like, I don't want to let you know that you've dropped so far.
Yeah.
But I do feel like my mental game has made a huge strive into being able to just dedicate all my focus on the shot that's at hand and try to execute that shot and not worry too much about what I've done in the past.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like if she would have told me like, hey, you're in 16th place, I would hope to feel, I believe that I wouldn't be like, holy crap. And then all of a sudden just go berserk and like, really like just collapse the back nine. But yeah, I think if you, as soon as you can start trying to figure out like, man, I've just been shanking the crap out of my drives and they're just going left. They're going left. They're going left. And instead of trying to like figure out like, oh, well, I wore these new shoes and I was slipping. And so like, that's why I was throwing bad shots. Or, I mean, I remember complaining one round that my shirt was too tight and I couldn't putt because my shirt was catching.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like there might see a little bit of truth to that.
Yeah.
But whenever you like make excuses outside of what actually is probably the root of the problem, it's very hard to get better.
Yeah. No, it makes a ton of sense.
I think we talked about that way too long, Silas. You should have cut me off.
Yeah, that's Silas's job. You should have Julius Caesar, Silas.
You should have Julius
Have
Caesar.
you ever Julius Caesar anyone, Silas?
Yeah, I did. I accidentally hung up on.
Oh, that's right.
someone.
That's right. The accidental Julius Caesar. Well, back to the phone thing. We'll get to, you have, after this, we'll get to, obviously you have a bunch of questions that's been submitted from Twitter and Reddit and stuff.
Yeah.
The phone thing, I think, I've never really thought through it. Trevor brought it up on Grip Locked a little bit ago because he said to him it was just crazy that people even use their phone. Like that just doesn't, like in disc golf, it's always been a thing, but like no other sport are you athletes regularly using their phone. And I think that when it'll become a problem is, not to go back to this, but it's the most recent obvious situation, is the Elaine King thing. If that text, instead of, we've went over Elaine King's intentions, everything checked out, seemed like she had very good intentions, was trying to help out Kristen Tatar. But what if she wasn't?
Yeah.
And she sends a text to Paige Pierce herself, and Paige is also malicious in this scenario that's fake that I'm creating, right? And then Paige now calls Kristen on a rules thing that actually could have got her disqualified. So very, very hypothetical situation. But essentially, someone's watching the coverage, notices something that players didn't see, sends the text to a player, and then boom, now there's a whole bunch of questions around that because like video evidence just used, or we've talked about this before as well. I'm watching coverage and I notice on hole 8 there's a sneaky headwind, and you're on hole 7 right now, and I'm like, hey, dude, hole 8, sneaky headwind, no one sees it.
That's what my caddy did on a couple holes for me today. During
but like when he just walked up and felt it?
No, he went out early and watched people play.
That's fine.
No, I know, but I'm saying like he did like kind of some scouting almost, and was saying like, yeah, a lot of people I saw today were like coming up short and hitting this tree. The crazy thing is what you're saying is like if someone was doing that virtually
and it was basically live information.
Yeah, or like literally someone throws a drive. Let's say it's like a head-to-head situation. Someone throws a drive, and you can't tell how close that drive is, and someone's like, yo, that's a headwind putt, 40 feet, death putt. He has no chance. He's got a tree in his way. Just lay up. You're good.
Yeah,
like
it changes everything.
Obviously, it's still crazy hypothetical, but
these
are all things that – and the thing is you might say like right now, like who would do that, whatever. When money starts getting involved, that is a game changer.
Well, it's also something that like
when the money starts going up.
Who's to say it hasn't happened?
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't say that hasn't.
But like
happened
that's
yet.
the thing of like stuff like that, because obviously like if you're staying at home, you're like, why the heck does it matter if players have their phone or not? 99% of the time, it doesn't. It's a
doesn't,
good way to
yeah.
pass time, whatever.
It does look awkward, I would say. Again,
Yeah.
I think it does. Even someone that uses their phone, I think it does look unprofessional and kind of awkward.
But it's still like that's a personal preference thing more than anything.
Yeah.
But
again, it's advantageous to have it, so
Yeah.
I'm going to use everything I can.
But I think those are the scenarios where, like, if that came out, it's also giving an unfair advantage to the later cards who are playing while coverage is going on if that became a regular thing. Because then if I'm teeing off at 8 a.m., I don't have coverage that someone can text me and let me know what's going on. Versus now I'm on a card that's around the coverage time and I can have people texting me, letting me know those things. Or if I'm in a scenario and I can have someone text me, like you were saying, of, hey, he has no chance of making that putt, whatever. Then it gives you, or hey, he's actually a lot closer. You better be aggressive here. When in your head you're like, I don't think that got there. I'll lay up.
Yeah.
And like those type of scenarios, who knows what past situations could have changed if players had just one more hint of information, and also who knows when that might start happening. Of people are like, hey, if they're not going to change it, because right now, as far as I know, that's pretty much in the rules. Of like, if I wanted to sit home and just text everyone I could on the cards, just let them know.
Yeah, there's nothing against
I mean, the only thing is like the rules question, that would be a blurry line of like video evidence, but I wouldn't be using the video evidence to call it. I'd be using video evidence to make someone aware of it. Regardless, I think it's only going to take one thing like that to happen to change it forever.
Yeah.